Namaste. It's a poem also. Evening. Evening. A golden evening when the thoughtful sun rejects its usual pomp in going. Trees that bend down to their green companion. So, this is an age when the sun, with all its pomp and splendors, is beginning to draw its rays away. And the trees become very quiet and still, one with their roots in the earth. And fruitful mother. So they are going down to Mother Earth, fruitful mother, vaguely whispering, these and a wide, silent sea. Such hour is nearest God. So at once he is saying how the evening can be so beautiful. Evening is the evening of life. It's not just the evening, and that he qualifies in the last line, which we'll just read. So evening, when the pomp and the show of your youthful energies, they tend to fade away. Everybody, to their little extent or big extent, have their own. And that time, you bend down to the roots to draw a sap, and all becomes quiet. Sees the vastness of consciousness. So one would say, oh, I have to be near the sea. No, sea is when you are in a state of vastness. Life should make us vast. Very unfortunate, it makes us rigid. It should make us vast. When you have seen through life, when you have seen that all your ideas with which you started, small, narrow, rigid, they are shattered. If you really look at life with open eyes, you will see it. You don't need to read a book of philosophy. The book of life will teach you that all these ideas, small ideas, narrow ideas, what life should be, is not. I remember one of my those things in a Brahmin family where there was very strict taboos about certain things, about alcohol and all that. So one of the criteria that somebody is very bad is if he took alcohol. So luck would have it, I went into AFMC and then the army life, where alcohol is all around, free alcohol. So I had my own little brush with alcohol. But that apart, that was for a short period, and that's a different story. But one thing I realized, that you can't judge a person by the drink that he has. I'm not saying take the other route. Oh, drinking is okay. I'm not saying that. Don't drink because it's not good for health. It's not good for the mind. But to judge a human being only on that basis, there are people who don't drink, who are pure vegetarian, but they drink human blood with impunity. So, you should, the wideness that comes when you go through life. When you see that, as Sri Aurobindo says in the jail, that those who were convicted suddenly saw in them that spark. Where there are people who are so-called socialites, upscale people, but very down in terms of their capacity for sacrifice, in their capacity for nobility, true nobility, in courage, in love, but dignified people. So when you go through life, you develop a wideness. So that is the sea. Such hour is nearest God. But when, now comes the qualifier, rich like old age, when the long ways have all been trod. When does old age become rich? If one has lived only confined to, I just want to do this, every day morning to night I'll sit. Long ways means so many aspects of life when it reveals itself to a person. There is that beautiful line in Savitri which I am reminded. After we have served this great divided world, God's bliss and oneness are our inborn right. Many people don't understand it. They feel that, ashram life means, okay, you're given some work, you're doing. Yes, do it. But it doesn't mean that your mind, your heart should remain small, let it expand into wideness. Read, grow, understand, learn new things, and in fact, the ashram provides this opportunity. That's the beauty. You can learn to sing, you can learn to dance, you can learn languages, every possible thing. You can learn physical education, new things. So that's where he reminds us evening, a golden evening, when the thoughtful sun rejects its usual pomp in going, all the thoughts which are moving into this achievement, that, all that pomp, the thoughts have rejected. Trees is life. So one is the mind, thoughts which were full of the pomp and glory. Now they are drawing into themselves towards the source. And life, what happens to life? Trees that bend down to their green companion and fruitful mother. Mother Earth. They are more and more entering to draw the sap of life. Both the mind and the life, they are entering deeper into their own roots to discover where they are. Now, these roots are not about going back to my village. The true roots, the source of light, that we must turn towards. The source of life, from where it draws nourishment. The source of love, that's where we must turn to. Vaguely whispering these, and of course, the physical image. As Mother says, when there is calm in the evening, it's a time which is very beautiful for meditation. Naturally, you feel like withdrawing inside. Vaguely whispering these, and a wide silent sea, a calm, vast consciousness. See the image. Such hour is nearest God. When we are turned toward the source, when all this outward going activity of the mind, thought, life with all its pomp and splendor and manifoldedness is turned within to its source, and the consciousness has become calm and vast, like a sea. Such an hour is nearest God. But when does it happen? When life has been led fruitfully, meaningfully, rich like old age, when the long ways have all been trod. Namaste.